Mustafa, thank you so much for chatting to us at JOE.ie. I have to say, I'm delighted and a little bit scared to meet you after seeing the first few episodes of Luke Cage. I presume that's the reaction you're going for.
Yeah, definitely there.
Most important question, as we mentioned just off cam, as a former barber, this is so important. Pop's list, who doesn't have to pay for free? Who would you have? You wouldn't charge them for a haircut.
Oh, that's such
You had 3 people, because there's so many you could choose from.
Oh, that's so good.
I think they had Ali, Pacino.
Yeah, I mean, I would have Ali clearly on there. He's on my T-shirt.
Can't go wrong.
Let me see. Malcolm X.
Amazing. Obviously for the show as well, at Malcolm X Boulevard. I was there not too long ago.
Yeah, absolutely right. And for me personally, Sidney Poitier.
Nice, good choices. Mention Harlem, actually, as a Harlem fella yourself, was this like the pinnacle, or something you really wanted to fight for and say, this is me, I really, really want to do this, something that represents you?
This show?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think of it in that way, like this is me actually, but it's a dream come true because I am from Harlem, and to be able to do something like comic book heightened ability, which is also like really important to me. It's like amazing. It's like bringing together a lot of the worlds that I love, and so for that, it's just like yay.
You didn't have any of your mates saying, would you mind seeing if you can talk the producers into filming outside the store, or get me a cameo, or in my bar, or any of that? None of that happened,
no. That's for future stuff. We
build up the cult of the Bushmaster.
Exactly.
Speaking of him, the first season kind of struck me as that I'd almost be loath to call them villains, because they're such complex characters, Biggie Diamondback and Cottonmouth. Basically characters who could have went one way or another, but it all turned on one moment. In regard to your own character, did you enjoy the kind of complexity and bringing that to a set that it's not just a two-dimensional shows up villain, but comes from a real place of heart, representation of the character himself, Jamaican stuff? Was that important to you to portray in your performance?
Well, playing Bushmaster was incredible because he really, you get to see the complexity of what it means to be a human who's put into extreme circumstances. You know what I mean? And villains are usually really one-dimensional, or the way that we think of things, the villains is one-dimensional. And like I said, the villains have grandmothers, who bake them cookies. They have a favorite dog. There's soft spots, and we don't see that when they're on a tirade. But that is a part of their humanity too. And there's a reason. There's a wound usually, that exists in a villain. That causes them to act the way they do. And I think that it's a good exploration to see that, because a lot of times it's not their fault, the reason why they got the wound.
True. You obviously have the comic book history to fall back on. Was there anything else you kind of used for inspiration, maybe for your performance based, or you kind of wanted to touch on? Because I kind of got a bit of Carlito's Way kind of vibe to that,
Oh, you did?
Coming in, yeah. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
No, that wasn't, but that's a cool, yeah, I like that analogy.
You take it, rub it.
Yeah, right, add that to my list. Well, I like the way that I work is kind of different. I try not to emulate personas specifically, but it's a vibe. So what I did is I watched The Harder They Fall like 1,000 times. It wasn't about Jimmy, Cliff's performance so much as it was just taking in the feeling of Jamaica and, just the vibration of it, listening to a lot of Nyabingi music, and then showing up to set and being honest to the story. When you do that, I think you can't lose. Do you know what I mean?
And in terms of the scenes with Mike, I just mentioned to you there, you scared the crap out of me in that first scene. That's one way to make an introduction with the...
Yeah.
You won't spoil it, but did you really enjoy the stunts and the action work? Because I think the first season won an award for best fight sequences. It was really, really raised the bar. But in this season, what would fans expect? Does it go that bit further?
Yeah, we go way farther with the martial arts choreography and all of that stuff. I love it because I have that background. I mean, I've done quite a bit of fighting in my life, and also just I love being physical. I work out all the time, so it was kismet. We found each other.
You touched on your background. Another thing you're very passionate about now is your music. I was watching season 1 and just that bit with Charles Bradley just kind of broke me there. He's gone, but even the soundtrack here, was that something you're even if you weren't working on set, I would just want to show up and see these guys play? Yeah,
I did. I showed up twice when I heard that Rakim was performing. I mean, we can say that now, guys. I went out there and I stood the whole day. It didn't matter if I was working or not, because he's a part of the culture, and it was super important aspect of the show is music. So.
And in terms of Luke Cage and the MCU, obviously you've got Rosario coming back, and the first season had reference to like the Judas bullet was from Hammer Inc. and stuff like that. Is there a bit more crossovers for fans to look forward to in this season?
They should just look forward.
You're not saying that. I tried to get at you, man. Here, listen, Mustafa. Anyway, best of luck with it. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you,
and, keep doing really good work, man.
All right, cheers.
Yeah.
Ready or not,
You need me out there.
ready or not,
She won't stop.
ready or not, here I come.
You want me out there.
Ready or not.
Because without me, God help Harlem. God help us all.
Here I come.